friends, welcome back, or welcome if you are new here to my channel. My name is Caroline. I like to do knitting and crocheting videos on my channel. And today me and two of my knitting friends are all gonna design our own colorwork hats. I thought it might be a fun way to see how different a simple prompt like that can turn out through other people's eyes. If you think that's interesting, then please do keep on watching. And without further ado, let's get into it. Alright, let's discuss the plan that I have for this hat. My original thought was a full scrap hat because I have a lot of scraps and I think it would look awesome. However, it feels kind of underwhelming. I just have this feeling that Mirta and Esme are gonna do something like really intricate, and then I'm here with my 1x1 color work and it's just not exactly how I want to showcase my talents to the world. So I was looking into some other directions, and if you follow me for a little bit, you probably know I am obsessed with quilts. And I really like the look of knitwear and crochet that are inspired by quilt blocks, right? So I did some research into different quilt blocks to kind of get inspired, and I think it's time to get sketching for my graph. Oh yeah, by the way, this is Mirta. Mirta is one of my best friends. She has her yarn dyeing business called Frog Mouse Studio, and she is amazing.
I thought I would jump in to tell you a little bit about my plan for this hat design. So my idea, and I have no idea if it's going to work out yet, is inspired by Delftware tiles and teacups. So the white background with the really dark blue motifs on it. Sometimes that's ships and houses and people, but in a lot of cases it's flowers as well. And I thought that would be a really nice idea for a hat. And I also dyed up this yarn, which is a white with a dark blue speckle and a little bit of light blue in there, that I dyed up for my first market collection 3 years ago that I really wanted to use for a sample. So I decided to use this as my main color and then work in a color work motif in basically the same color blue, just a little bit more intense, just so that it stands out nicely, but it doesn't have a completely white background. So I'm going to draw up a chart, and hopefully this will turn out well, and I will keep you posted along the way.
And this is Esme, another one of my best friends. Say thank you, Mirta and Esme, for dealing with Caroline's bullshit.
Yesterday I recorded a video talking about how I wanted to use some of this Drops Lima that I have left, which is a gray, green and a burgundy red. And I wanted to do this very green color work with leaves. But then I was scrolling through Pinterest last night and I saw a colorwork chart of scissors. I have a scissor tattoo and I thought it might be cool to do a hat with scissors all around. But then I thought these colors wouldn't be good. I wanted to do black and white because I love a good black and white. But then I looked at my stash and I didn't have any black and white left, which is crazy to me because I always wear black and I always use black. Then I found this very dark slate gray and this very light gray, and I thought a gray beanie would be good as well. I only have this much, so I hope that'll be enough, and it's the Fildar Partner 3.5. Both of them are, and it is a 50% polyamide, 25% wool, and 25% acrylic blend. I like the material of this more because it's wool alpaca. But then the colors, and I do have to use it, so I think I'm gonna do this.
Here's my very quick little rough sketch. I haven't quite decided if I want the inside to be the same color here as the outside. No, I'm gonna go for it. I'm gonna go and do this in the same color as the outside. I think it would be more legible that way. Yeah, that's better.
I made something on my iPad. I made this chart of the scissors and a little round thing. Keep it separate, and I'm hoping I can do a bit of this at the bottom as well. But it is very large, so I hope it'll work out. I have a backup one. I think I'm gonna draw the backup one as well, which is a safety pin. Give me a second. I'm scrapping the idea of the safety pin already. You know what? I'm just gonna cast this on. I'm gonna add it to my knit journal first, and then I'm gonna cast it on. Let's see how far I can get today. Ideally, I would use up this whole ball. Let's see.
I'm going back to the original idea. it would work, but I started and then I realized what a pain in the ass it would be to make that hat. Because I wanted to do every like quilt block in 2 different colors. So I would have 12 colors in one round, and I like my sanity. So instead we're gonna do a full scrap hats, which I guess it was my original idea, so maybe this is more like what I would do, which is I guess kind of the point of this video. So we're gonna make a full of scrap hat. I will be making it in a DK weight yarn because I'm lazy, so I will double strand my finger in scraps. Yeah, that's the new plan.
Okay, a little bit of an update on the hat. I started it yesterday, and after very quickly realizing that I was not going to enjoy knitting this in fingering weight, I adapted my chart for DK weight, and then I started knitting it. So I've gotten this far. That means I finished all of my color work chart, and I am now going to do the decreases for the crown. And once I finish that, I'm going to try it on and see how much brim I actually want, and then pick up the stitches for that. I'm hoping I can actually finish the crown decreases within the next 2 hours or so, and maybe pick up for the brim later today. Maybe I'll get it done, maybe I won't, but we'll see.
It's a day later and I finished knitting the brim and I did a bit of the stockinette as well. I decided that instead of the 4 inches that I initially planned to do the brim for, 2.5 would be good, because when I reached the 2-inch mark on the brim, I realized how wide it already was with it being a fold over, and I didn't want to have like this much of a fold over on my forehead. So I decided to stop at 2.5 inches and then work the stockinette, which I did 1 inch for, and I want to do 2. Also finish the first ball of yarn. So I think it's gonna be okay. Okay, so a little update. I have about this much done. I think it's cute. Also, I did catch my floats from the beginning, which means it's very tight and I have quite a big head. So I'm gonna block this really aggressively when it's done. And I'm hoping to finish the color work today. Maybe even finish the measurement so I can do the decreasing for the crown tomorrow or the day after. But this is how far I am right now. And I'm really enjoying it. The thing with color work is always, when I started, I really enjoyed, and then once I'm in the final stretch as I am right now, I'm done. I don't want to do it anymore. Closing statement on my hat is that I really love it. I think mine's great. I really love the scissors. I have a scissor tattoo, so that's what it's based off. I think the color work is just a bit tight, but everything stretches and blocked out perfectly, so I'm not complaining. I'm just about to go out in the cold. I'm really enjoying wearing this.
Okay, time for some final thoughts. So this is my hat. I have finished it a couple weeks ago now. I didn't get a chance to film because I had a big market right in the middle of it, and I was also waiting for everyone else to finish. So here's my final hat. The lighting is awful, but I think it turned out pretty good. I really like the color work, really like how wide I ended up making the brim, and I really like the fit. So it feels really good on, and it's nice and warm, and I really like it.
Alright, so I finished my hats. I blocked it and I'm really happy with how it turned out. I made this with Twisty Sock by Fogma Studios, and these are all my scraps from my Full of Scrap tee. Which is fun, because now I've got a matching hats. But yeah, I really like how it turned out. I'll put it on for you. I like it. I really like the fits. It's like perfect on my head. I like the double folded brim, which was definitely a must for me. I like how we all did double folded brims, which like, it all makes sense to me because I really like double folded brims and I actually really despise the look of non-double folded brims. So for me, the double folded brim is not negotiable. I don't know how the others feel about that, but for me, yeah. I feel like they feel the same way because we all did double folded brims, which is fun. I really like how different our hats all turned out. I think it's actually kind of wild that both mine and Myrta's are like kind of the same colors, because we usually don't like the same colors whatsoever. But I mean, coloring wise, our hats are very similar, but they're so different. And yeah, I really like seeing how different the single prompts can turn out, because we just said design a colorwork hats, and so we did. And I think it's fun that we all have a different view on a colorwork hat.
I really love how we all made something really different. I think mine's very much me in the dark colors, and then Caroline using a lot of scrap yarn at the moment and doing color work in that sense, and then Myrta's floral one, which I really love as well. I love how the three of us have really different styles, but then we match on the knitting, and that's how everything turns out so differently, and I love that. I think it's great.
So at this point, Esme and Caroline have also finished their hats. I think they're great. I think it's fun how we all did something entirely different. So like, while Caroline and mine match in color fully, they're entirely different hats, and I think a Full of Scrap hat is such a fun idea and such a lovely pattern to add to the collection. So I'm excited for when she writes that up, and I think Esme's hat is so cool. I think the colors she chose fit her much better, and I think her design was so much fun. So all in all, 10 out of 10 recommend doing this with your friends, and if I ever get another chance to do something like this, I would fully say yes to this.
Let me know what you thought about all our hats, what you think about them all being like so different, even though we all had the same prompt. Let me know which one you like most. Be kind though, be nice about it, okay? You can all have our different tastes and you're allowed to express them, but please be nice. Be nice. Yeah, I don't really have anything else to say, I don't think. If you like this video, I know it's a bit different than what I usually do, but if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up so I know that you liked it. If you want to see more of me, feel free to subscribe. You can also follow me on Instagram or on Ravelry. And I guess without further ado, thank you guys for watching, and I will see you tomorrow.